It may seem a bit negative to start the new year off talking about the worst products I tried in 2025, but I always think it's a positive thing when I can help you save some money on some potentially bad products. So today I'm giving you my quick thoughts, my reviews on products that really did not work out for me. Some of these were new launches last year, some I tried for the first time, but none of them worked well for me. I do this video every single year. It's a part of my video series where I sum up the best and worst products throughout the year, and this video just fell at the end of this series and I couldn't quite squeeze it in 2025. So here we are. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new, and let's get into these worst products that I tried and tested last year. I'm starting with complexion products, but I first want to say that just because the products in this video didn't work for me doesn't make them bad products overall for everyone, and it doesn't mean they won't work for you. Actually, the reasons they don't work for me might be reasons they will work for you. So for that reason, I will have everything I'm sharing and wearing today and any alternative products I happen to mention throughout the video linked for you through YouTube Shopping. If they have it, they don't always have products and brands I want to link for you available, so I will have everything linked for you in my description box down below the title of the video, as I always do. So I have 3 foundations that had to be in this video. I test and review foundations a lot here on my channel. I found some really great ones in 2025 and some not so great ones, and I'm going to go ahead and start with the foundation that stood out to me the most, which is the reformulation of MAC Studio Fix Powder Foundation. Now, if you've been subscribed to me, you know that the original was my absolute holy grail powder foundation. I'm insanely picky when it comes to foundations, but especially powder foundation. When you have mature skin, I'm 50 years old, it's just really, really hard to find a good powder foundation that doesn't look heavy, cakey, or powdery, and it was really nice. So they reformulated it without the talc, as many brands are doing with their powder products, and this was not nearly as buildable as the previous version. I couldn't build it up to medium full, and certainly not the full coverage they claim it has, and it pooled in my pores. Even with a primer underneath, I still can't get over that. The old version gave me this beautiful, natural looking, blurred, soft, velvety matte finish. It looked really, really natural. I did not get that from this version at all. Within a couple of hours, with or without primer, my skin was a shiny mess and my pores were exaggerated. I could feel it on my skin and it wears away quickly. This was just an absolute disaster of a reformulation, in my opinion. So I'm basically back to square one looking for another holy grail powder foundation, which is a shame. The next foundation is Anastasia Beverly Hills Blurring Second Skin Matte Foundation. I remember the shade range was pretty abysmal. It seemed pretty warm and yellow toned overall. And even though it felt lightweight, each day I wore it, I ended up pretty shiny, and it didn't do much for my pores at all. And if I even wiped my nose lightly or anywhere on my face, the foundation just disappeared. It started out pretty matte. If you have mature, dry, or dehydrated skin, I just don't think you'll enjoy the way this applies and the finish of it. And if you have oily or combination skin, which is the target skin type for this foundation, because of how it wears and appears throughout the day, I just don't think this will work for you either. I tested this for nearly a week and it was just sort of a mess the entire time. I expected a lot more from it and was so disappointed. And now we have Too Faced Born This Way Undetectable Medium to Full Coverage Foundation. This is another reformulation. Even though the finish looked pretty natural overall, this did nothing for my pores. It actually made them look more exaggerated. I could see pores that I don't see without foundation after I applied it. I could build this for medium to medium full coverage. It didn't give me the full coverage that it claims to have. And as I wore it throughout the day, I got a lot of shine and texture, and I could start to feel it on my face about midway through the day. And at the end of the day, it's just bad. The shine and texture is even worse. It's faded. I could just take a finger and lightly swipe it away. I wasn't even really out in the elements when I tested this foundation either. It was just pretty mild. So for a foundation that's supposed to give you 24-hour wear and be transfer resistant and humidity proof, that's just pretty sad. The original was so nice, and this reformulation was just hugely disappointing. So these three foundations just stood out to me as being really, really bad in 2025 for my 50-year-old oily combination skin that's pretty normal around the perimeter and can even be dry. I get shine in the center of my face, and I live in humidity pretty much year-round here in New Orleans. So yeah, they just did not work for me. But let me know your thoughts on these foundations or any of the products I talk about in this video as we go through. Do you feel the same? Do you feel differently? Let me know in the comments. I don't know when L'Oreal Infallible Setting Spray launched. I just know I tried it last year because everyone kept saying it was a fantastic or perfect dupe for One Size Until Dawn setting spray. They are both aerosols, and I love One Size, so I wanted to check the L'Oreal out. And the reason why I love the One Size setting spray is because if you want your makeup to be bulletproof, locked in place under any circumstance, heat, sweat, humidity, the longest to longest days, it is the perfect setting spray for that. It will keep your makeup completely budge proof. And I like that it doesn't change the finish of my makeup. It doesn't make it more matte. And it also doesn't leave my face feeling sticky or dry, but it does have alcohol in it, which can dry your face if you use it over and over every day. So that's why I reserve it for special occasions. So I expected the same thing from L'Oreal because of how everyone keeps saying it's a dupe, and it is not the same. It has a more intense spray. It just hits your face harder, and it is sticky. It feels like I just sprayed my face with hairspray. There's a scent to it, and it leaves my face feeling dry by the end of the day. I cannot stand it, whereas I love the One Size setting spray so much. If you break it down by ounce, L'Oreal is not that much less expensive, and in my opinion, you're getting a subpar product. So that's just my feelings on it, but I was hugely disappointed in L'Oreal Infallible Setting Spray. Love L'Oreal overall as a brand, but just do not like that setting spray. Let's talk about a concealer that really disappointed me in 2025, the Revlon Glimmer Brightening Concealer. The texture was incredibly thin and watery and offered very, very little coverage. As someone who has discoloration and dark circles, I had to layer it 2 or 3 times, even over a corrector, to get any coverage at all, and it still wasn't enough. I still looked tired and discolored. I have dry under eyes with fine lines and texture, and when you looked at it up close after it was blended, it looked sort of patchy and unflattering because of how the luminosity settled into my skin under my eyes. I just really disliked this concealer so much. I think at the time, at least, it had decent reviews, and I was actually pretty surprised by that. But then I have to remember, not everyone has mature skin, dry under eyes like I do. I have 2 products here from Physicians Formula. You know, one of my favorite products from 2025 is from Physicians Formula, so I guess it balances out. That product is in my favorite drugstore products from 2025. You can see that here. I have those videos, my favorite products videos from 2025 up here in the corner, and they'll also be at the end of the video if you want to catch some of those videos after you watch this one. So the first is the Physicians Formula Color Correcting Primer. I see what they were going for here. I see what they were doing with the color correcting beads like some high-end primers have. There are some nice ingredients in here. It felt really good when I applied it to my skin, but this did absolutely nothing to color correct, smooth my skin, or extend the wear of my makeup. So it seems like this was all marketing and basically a complete waste of money. The next product is the Diamond Dust Starlit Glow Powder. What kills me is the description of this product. It says it's a high-impact diamond dusted all-over face powder that delivers a glimmering glass skin effect. Lustrous diamond dust creates a light diffusing blur that leaves a translucent veil of luminosity. You cannot dust this all over your face. I wish I still had this here in my hands to show you because it was such a glittery, chunky mess. I still can't believe that they are calling this an all-over face powder and not a highlighter. Even if it was marketed as a highlighter, I don't know many people that would be using this type of glittery, chunky highlighter in 2025, 2026. Most people are going for more natural highlighters, and to say you should be putting this all over your face is just a joke. I feel like Physicians Formula products are either really, really good or really, really bad. I'm starting to realize why they may not put reviews on their website. I bought the Peace Out Instant Pore and Oil Control Roller last year because I thought it might be similar to the Revlon oil control roller that I love, but it wasn't. It left this weird orangey film on my skin everywhere I rolled it, and the roller sticks. It's not a smooth roll like the Revlon. The only way to get it to roll properly was to hold it vertically, so I had to tilt my head backwards and roll it on my skin that way. It was just a really weird experience all the way around. I did not like this product at all. Sticking with my Revlon, which is great for controlling shine without messing up my makeup. I always recommend that product to anyone that gets shiny or gets oil breakthrough. It's fantastic. This is a case where I would say the drugstore definitely does it better. Let's revisit Urban Decay's Naked Shaped palette, shall we? I love Urban Decay as a brand, as I do most of the brands I'm sharing with you in this video. My main issue with this palette is I think it's a horrible buy for the money. It's $56. I had it in Cool. When I initially got it, I was really put off by how it felt in my hands. I was put off by what felt like kids' cheap makeup packaging. Play makeup packaging is what it felt like. It didn't open and close smoothly. Instead of having a hinge to open and close it, it slides open and closed. It didn't open and close smoothly. There's no mirror. I don't need a mirror. That's not necessarily a drawback. When you're charging nearly $60 for a palette, I think you should have a mirror. The packaging just feels cheap when you hold it, touch it, feel it, open it, and close it. So let's talk about the product inside the palette. The shimmers are mediocre, they're a bit dry, and the creams have a sheer, stiff texture, and they crease without some kind of primer or without setting them. And because they're sheer, you can't line with them if you were intending to do so. So if you wanted to fully use this palette and line, you're gonna need to do it with one of the powder shadows, which is fine. They have some moderately deep powder shades in there to line with. The matte shadows are nice. So for $56, you're getting some decently nice matte shadows in a cheap component with no mirror. I just don't think the quality is here all around. If they were charging $20, maybe, but nearly $60, it's just not here for me, which is why it made it into this video. I have two mascaras in this video that didn't work for me for similar reasons. I have Makeup by Mario Master Mascara and Kosas Soul Gazer Mascara. I love the ingredients in both of these, so I was really wanting them to work for me. I found both of these to be clumpy formulations, so they took me a while to comb through them with my metal lash comb. That's always aggravating for me, but my main issue with both of these mascaras is how heavy they are on my lashes. Both of these weigh my lashes down. They straighten the curl back out of my lashes, even with a light waterproof layer underneath them. So I am used to non-waterproof mascaras weighing my lashes down and straightening out my curl. That's not uncommon for me. I have very stubborn straight lashes that straighten back out after I apply non-waterproof mascaras. So what I usually do after I curl my lashes is apply a very light layer of waterproof, let it dry, and then apply my non-waterproof layer, and my curl holds. But not with these two mascaras. I don't know what it is about them, but both of them weigh my curl back down. And it's such a shame because I really love having nice, healthy, lash benefiting ingredients in my mascaras, but neither of these worked for me. I tried a bunch of SPF lip balms last year, trying to find some that were good and nourishing, hydrating, and didn't taste or smell gross. I found some good ones, I found some not so good ones, but this one really stood out to me for this video. So this is the Dermatology SPF 25 lip balm. I don't quite understand the difference in my experience based on the ingredients that are in here. So this has avocado, shea butter, and cocoa butter. It's supposed to lock in moisture, repair dry lips, and give you a velvety smooth finish. So I was really baffled at how dry my lips felt when I wore this and how quickly it wore away. And I felt like I was inhaling and swallowing sunscreen the entire time I wore it. I wasn't expecting that from Dermatology. I just thought this was going to be a really great product because I really love several of their products, but this was not it. I was gonna keep this video all makeup, but I couldn't not mention Divi dry shampoo because it was one of the worst dry shampoos I've maybe ever tried, and I was so surprised by that. It gave me a terrible chalky white cast, and it left such gunk in my hair that I could barely run my fingers through my hair after I sprayed it. It almost made my hair feel tangled. My fingers would get caught in my hair when I tried to run them through it. It was the weirdest thing. And I didn't even use that much either. The smell was so strong and overpowering and didn't dissipate. You know how usually if you spray a hairspray or a dry shampoo that has a scent, you spray it and then that scent goes away. You don't notice it the entire day. Not with this one. I couldn't wait to wash this out of my hair. It was terrible. So we'll end on that note. These were my standout worst products of 2025. Let me know yours in the comments down below. If you want to see my favorite products from last year, you can click here. And if you enjoyed this video, I would love it if you would give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!